We've spent the week on the road in Bulgaria, and we're now just making our way back to Sofia. It's going to take 5 and a bit hours, I guess. Gives us maybe a little bit of time to reflect on what we've seen, and perhaps just talk a little bit about why we do what we do and where we do what we do. People often ask, well, why Bulgaria in particular? This is where our work started, and we have a number of long-term projects here. But there are so many answers to that question, why do we work in Bulgaria? Well, one answer is, and you see this everywhere you go, is the collapse of communism and what that left behind as the country tried to rapidly transition to a capitalist system after many decades under the communists. And that's really an impossible jump to make, especially in the time that they had to make it. And this has left many people marginalised and left behind. The very poorest were always going to struggle, and those that were successful under communism, the politicians and such like, they stayed successful. The corruption is everywhere. Very, very difficult for the average person to improve their life in a system that often seems rigged. And for the very poorest, like Roma and those without an education, life is really, really tough. So there are a great number of people in Bulgaria and in other countries in the region who are so poor that they are forced to make desperate choices. And that includes abandoning their children into state care systems or into foster care. It will include things like turning to prostitution and crime, doing anything they can. And we work with a number of young people through the House Opportunity Programme who have been either nearly trafficked or who have been trafficked. And you can see how desperate the situation is when there are parents out there who are willing to sell their children because they have no money. So for the young people we're working with, life can be really, really desperate. We're just a small sort of drop in the ocean, if you like, but we can see that each life touched, each life restored, if you like, is, that's another life reclaimed. And so we continue to work with our friends and partners in Bulgaria and in the other countries, because we take this step-by-step view and we look after individuals. We could get disheartened, I guess, because the problems are so huge. They seem intractable. But when you see a young person who has come through the orphanage system and suffered all they have, when you see them come to a house of opportunity and their life begin to change and maybe start to go to university, you start to think, well, maybe we can make a little bit of a difference. And the Christmas box is just a part of that. Many of the young people we work with, we meet them through the Christmas box appeal. On many occasions we've met young people who have been struggling through the orphanage system, and the first time we come into contact with them is through the Christmas boxes that you've given. So that's one reason why we continue with this campaign. It brings us into contact with people who really need long-term help, and it opens the door for us to be able to help them. Thank you for continuing to support us. If you would like to find out more about what we do, please check out our website, fscinet.org. There's loads of information on there about our programs, about how you can support, how you can get involved. We're really, really grateful for those that have committed to helping us. And we're very, very grateful to those that make the Christmas boxes every year and give their time to help us. You're a real blessing, and particularly a real blessing to the young people that we were able to help because of the work that you're supporting. Thank you.